Broadcasting live. The Evening Report at 6 starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Molly Martinez. Alan and Monica are off tonight. A Bismarck man is behind bars in connection to the murder of his 12-week-old baby. According to the affidavit, 22-year-old Jose Rivera Rifle was taking care of his children on April 18th when the infant sustained life-threatening head injuries. That baby died a few days later as a result. Court records say the injuries did not look accidental. At first, Rivera denied being in the apartment when the incident happened. Then, a few days later, he changed his story. Police say Rivera has a history of child abuse. The child's mother, 22-year-old Jennifer Lopez, was arrested back in April on 2 counts of child neglect in connection to that incident. There are domestic assault accusations against Burleigh County Sheriff candidate Kelly Lieben. Now, 18-year-old family members say Lieben put him in a headlock 4 years ago. The boy says he feels no justice was served in the incident. Daniela Hurtado spoke to the victim's sister and Lieben this afternoon. Danny?
Molly, the 18-year-old boy sent a letter to the North Dakota Post Board asking for an investigation on Lieben. The boy claiming the incident 4 years ago at a family gathering was not an accident. Lieben says he feels bad and didn't mean to hurt him.
KFYR-TV obtained a police report from the Nelson County Sheriff's Department from the incident that happened more than 4 years ago. Records say Lieben put the boy in a chokehold. The boy told deputies he couldn't feel his neck or left leg.
He definitely should have manned up to actually standing behind his actions instead of just pretending that none of it happened.
Lieben says it wasn't intentional.
To me, there was no assault. It was a wrestling match with a nephew that I love.
The boy was taken to the hospital and doctors told him he had stiffness to his spine. Lieben says he paid for the medical expenses. The boy's parents never pressed charges against Lieben.
My brother was torn about it too because he was like, this is family, this is my uncle. But it's still he was in rough shape for quite some time. So right now I just think that he doesn't want somebody like that running for sheriff.
The victim hopes Lieben will be held at a higher standard.
If it gets reopened, I'm perfectly fine with that because that'll be a chance for the other family that was there and witnessed this to be able to tell because we disagree with some things said in that report.
Lieben says he's sad about the situation because family is the most important thing to him.
Now, the Post Board will be meeting tomorrow in Minot. The victim, in his letter to them, said he would be at the meeting and aims to talk to the board about the allegations. Now, whether or not this 4-year-old case will be investigated, well, that's still undetermined.
All right, thanks, Danny. Time now is 6:02. Let's take our first check on weather with Henry.
That's later on.
All right, thank you, Henry. In just 2 days, KFYR-TV and West Dakota Fox will host a debate between the 2 congressional candidates vying for our lone seat in the House. Marcy Bellinger and I will be moderating the event. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on KFYR-TV. We want to give you some background on the 2 men who could be the sole voice of our state in the House of Representatives. Andrew Horn gives us profiles on each, and this evening we begin with Kelly Armstrong.
Molly, the 41-year-old Dickinson native is known for his love of baseball and his 100-mile-an-hour personality. His family says there's more to Kelly than what you see. Armstrong is married with 2 kids, 10-year-old Anna and 8-year-old Eli. Armstrong met his wife Kirsty while going to law school at the University of North Dakota. We asked them for a secret about the House candidate, and the family didn't disappoint.
A lot of junk food. True though, because we're always in a rush, so we never have time to sit down at restaurants.
He doesn't like anything in between. He either wants to have a really nice meal or he wants to do junk food.
We also spent the day with Democratic candidate Max Schneider and his family in Fargo, and you can see his story tomorrow.
Bismarck Public Schools say their 5 construction projects are on schedule. The 3 middle schools will be open for the start of the school year next Wednesday. They used to be able to hold 800, but now they have a capacity for 1,200 students.
What that entailed was classroom additions to add classrooms for the additional students, a gymnasium, and their cafeteria expanded to allow for more students.
Phase 2 at Bismarck High will be complete in the fall of 2019. It's not just Bismarck schools under construction, but the roads too. Cynthia McLaughlin joins us now with details.
Parts of 3rd, 4th, and Washington streets are blocked off while the city manages pavement and replaces a water main. Many residents are concerned about the road closures with school starting next week. City engineers say there are restrictions in their contracts. While the roads might not be fixed by start of school, there must be two-way traffic on those streets by the end of August.
It's difficult with our short construction period to have that magically appear without having some element of pain, if you will, for that during that construction process. We try to mitigate that as much as possible by making sure the contractor is doing work as quickly as possible, but also to our specifications.
Shell asks that the public be patient and understanding as they are working to get the roads fixed as quickly and efficiently as possible.
All right, thanks, Cynthia. Speaking of construction, voters could be looking at 2 initiatives to help fund road projects. Megan Hoffman is here to tell us about the decisions made today. Megan?
Molly, a special task force is moving forward with plans to cap the 25 mil property tax buy down and add an additional half-cent sales tax to fund road projects.
All those in favor?
Aye.
A special task force made up of different stakeholders in the Bismarck community is moving forward with plans on how to pay for road projects in the community.
I'm happy that we have some momentum going and we have some good solid recommendations that come from the community to put out in front of the voters.
The plan is to cap the 25 mil property tax buy down, which comes out of the current 1 cent sales tax at the 2019 level, and create a half-cent sales tax with a 10-year sunset provision.
I think that they're good because the sales tax has a sunset in a few years. You know, it's not something that can go on and on forever without reconsideration. I think those are important options.
A survey sent to chamber members, the Board of Realtors, the Development Association, and Home Builders Association shows support of the measures.
As president of organizations that support our recommendations.
The City Commission needs to approve language at its next meeting in order to meet the September 4th deadline to get the measures on the November ballot.
The group also discussed 2 other issues that could impact funding of infrastructure projects in Bismarck. The tax on online sales that goes into effect later this year could possibly generate revenue toward the projects, and a plan from state legislators to pump hundreds of millions of dollars into local infrastructure projects. However, they decided to move forward with their recommendations and not wait or rely on other sources of funding.
Thanks, Megan. Tomorrow is the United Way's annual Day of Caring, and over 80 volunteers will be helping the Great Plains Food Bank pack more than 22,000 meals. The organization has worked with the United Way and Day of Caring for the past couple years, and Walters say they wouldn't be able to get by without the help of their volunteers.
We would have to hire full-time employees to do that. So it really hits our bottom line if we were to have to do that. But so these volunteers, they not only contribute to our bottom line, but they contribute to the community by packing us food and making it available.
The event tomorrow is expected to reinvest $340,000 back into the community. A North Dakota powerhouse is in Washington today to participate in a town hall called I Make America. The idea is to better educate the manufacturing workforce. Reporter Alana Austin has the story.
It's only a few months until Election Day, and candidates are fighting for every vote. As North Dakotans think about who is on the ballot, the Association of Equipment Manufacturers, or AEM, launches a campaign of its own.
I Make America wants to get out there grassroots and talk about the issues, and it's not a 30-second soundbite.
From trade and tariffs to highways and the Farm Bill, AEM is inviting workers and executives to learn more about how the major debates in Washington, D.C. impact them. AEM President Dennis Slater says it's an opportunity to inform and energize their own base for November.
We'll hold town hall meetings that talk about the big issues that are out there that impact the company and impact their jobs.
Thursday's town hall in Bismarck will focus on infrastructure issues. Deuce and Bobcats North America President Richard Goldsberry says Congress must move forward on investing in many projects.
If we really want to be a world-class country, to compete on a world-class basis, you have to have state-of-the-art infrastructure. And frankly, we don't anymore.
Also in Washington, this morning, President Trump's campaign organization filed an arbitration against friend-turned-enemy Omarosa Manigault-Newman. They say Manigault-Newman broke a 2016 non-disclosure contract by disparaging the president in her new book. The president retaliated today on Twitter, calling Omarosa a dog. All right, let's throw it over now to Henry. Henry, it was hot, now it's cool. What are we looking for in the future? You know, Henry, we'll take it.
We'll take what we can get.
It's not that bad. We'll take it.
Yeah.
We've seen worse.
We've seen worse. You have to be triple digits again.
Yeah. The Philadelphia Eagles training camp is winding down after the break. Carson Wentz was hoping he could have been able to do more. We'll hear from the Century High School graduate when we come back. United States today, including major flooding on the East Coast and Texas. This is in Pennsylvania. Henry, we got some wet weather too here yesterday.
Yeah, we did. None today, but it is much cooler. That's the good news. Things are going to be warming up, though, into the upper 80s and lower 90s tomorrow. Sunny with south wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. 90s extend Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Then we cool down again, and there's even a chance of rain by Sunday.
All right, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at 10.